They get the win against Newport County, 2-0. Then they go and play against Swindon Town. They win that 1-0. Then they lose to Walsall on Saturday. I'm sorry, 4-1. No, 3-1. And then they beat Barrow yesterday, 4-1. Um, Next up, I don't think I have this right. It's not against Newport. It's not
No,
against
no, no,
Swindon Town.
no, no.
But anyways, I'll tell you the next.
Idiot.
Yeah, this guy who did the doc, me. But I did update their standing, so they're 14, 7, and 4, third place, 49 points, 2 points away from Stockport in first. So you get a win, Stockport loses. Hi ho, we're looking at first place. So
Yeah, and of course, top three automatically move on to League One, to EFL One, and then seeds 4 through 7 go into a playoff. So Wrexham's looking real good to move on to League One right now. They just got to keep the pace, and I think next year in League One, that's where we're gonna finally see them kind of level out, because I think that's where their skill really lies. Is they're about a mid tier League One team is
I
what
think
is where
so.
I see them.
Um, I think it's coming up, right? Pretty soon. There's another trade deadline. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank at the name of
Oh
it,
no,
but I
it's
guess
a window.
trade
Basically they
window.
open
Yes,
up
Isn't it it's a on loan window where you can
well,
get players
you
on loan
can.
or something like that?
you
You
can
can
do
do
that.
both.
It's a transfer window basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So they could do loans or they could outright purchase a player if, it
mhm.
just depends. It really depends. It's up to the team's discretion if they want to loan a player or outright sell the player. So,
Yeah.
um,
And there's no like salary cap or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
whatever the owners feel like they can and are willing to pay for.
yep.
And they've been unafraid to spend some bucks to this point. They're because they have the documentary, and they got some like big time sponsors like United on the front of the kit. They have plenty of money coming in right now, and if they make a move to bring somebody else in to kind of put them over the top, that wouldn't totally surprise me. But also, they're playing well enough. They may just want to stay pat and try to save some money for next year, because they still need to work on improvements. They gotta finish building the cop, and they gotta finish they gotta really build up the
The
like
brand.
the training grounds and everything else. So I mean,
Mhm.
there's plenty of money that they need to spend on other things to help improve the club outside of the roster. So
Well, that really depends on the MK Dons was their next game, but it's been postponed. So technically, the next game. So what you were saying was saving money. It really depends on how far they get in some of these tourneys too. So the FA Cup is their next game. They're in the third round. They're playing against Shrewsbury. If they get far enough in that cup, that's some good chunk change that they could use towards acquiring talent going forward for the next year. So I think there's a lot of pressure to not only promote themselves, but to get as far as they can the FA Cup to get some money too.
right, and getting up to League One, that's still fine. That's like their finances are still fine. It gets a little dicey in the championship, because there are teams that spend like crazy to get into the championship, and then if they fail, that's like when they're basically running a deficit, and so you don't want to do that. They're not in any danger of hitting that level right now.
Yeah. I think next year you're probably
Yeah.
going to see some younger kids that are
Mhm.
probably good talents on
Yeah.
premier teams that they're just
Mo-
loaning out type of deals.
Most of the talent on this roster right now, at least half of them will be gone,
Yeah.
assuming they get to League One. And then if they somehow make it to the championship level, you're looking at maybe Paul Mullen, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the guys on this team, they are well suited for third tier, and
Yep.
they're gonna run into trouble talent wise if they get any higher. And I think they're gonna be in the third tier for a while. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Should be fun. We
Yeah,
got
it's gonna be
another
a lot of
two.
fun.
Well, I think we're down to 3 months in like 2 weeks, I think, or something. So we'll call it 3.5, 3.5 months.
January. Yeah, it's basically beginning of May. Early May is when the season wraps up. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we got 4 months is what we got.
There's some games that have been postponed. So MK Don's got postponed. Another game got postponed. So
Mhm.
it might go a little extra depending on how the schedule works out. But they're pretty strict on ending it on the dot on the last game, so games will be filled in between there.